I know what Joe was saying, but I think it is true that at one or two lights, there was a malfunction or something where the time that we wanted the yellow light to be, I'm going to pick 4.3 seconds. For some reason, the timer was off or the equipment was working screwy. Nice word. Yeah. And it was 4.1. The actual time was 4.1, not 4.3. Right. And some people got some tickets at those intersections where the equipment was quirky. Am I right about that?
Yes, that occurred last fall when it came to our attention.
And I think that's what Councilman Newton was talking about. That
was at 3 intersections that had 20-year-old controllers.
Okay. So my next question is, have we fixed those, and are the times on those per the discussion we had the other day?
We did an exhaustive analysis of all the timings of every cycle throughout the day, and it was an anomaly that didn't occur every cycle change. It was only once in a while. So what we found it to be was the 20-year-old controller. Its variances and its tolerances were wore out. So we've replaced those controllers. But while we were evaluating that, we immediately told the police when they were monitoring those infractions to check the yellow times compared to the list of what it was supposed to be. And if the yellow time posted on the notice was less than what it was supposed to be, kick it out. And they've done that.
And that's great. And that's great. But I think there was some period of days where some people got some tickets that if the controller had been working the way it's supposed to, they wouldn't have gotten tickets.
But, you know, there was still no technical way to determine whether that was the actual yellow time of the sequence or if that was what was being detected and the detection was off.
I'm not suggesting we fix it here tonight. I'm suggesting, at least to me, that's still an open issue about what we do about that. But
well, as I say, it was those 3 intersections.
What I wanted to do was define what the problem was.
We believe it was the controller, and we have replaced those controllers.
Okay. I thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Councilmember Newton.
Yes. How long before you found out you had 20-year-old controllers did you notify the police to stop issuing citation?
When the anomaly of what we called short yellow time was brought to our attention, we immediately called the police and started narrowing down where it was occurring based on the data. And the data showed us that those anomalies only occurred at those 3 intersections. But the police were notified right away, and they started monitoring it from that point. That was back, I believe, in November.
How long before you knew about the anomaly? Were the red light cameras installed at those intersections? The adjustment.
Within a day. Within a day, we called the police and told them to watch out for it.
No, I'm saying when we first had the camera program started, and you put the cameras there, and those 20-year-old controllers, how long before that problem showed itself, that anomaly?
It didn't come to our attention until about 10 months after they started.
So you were issuing tickets and all that time period?
Correct. But again, we weren't even positive today as to whether the time was actually short or if it was just being detected by the detection equipment as being short. But since we've replaced those controllers...
but the people that got citations in those 9 months that have paid them didn't get refunded or didn't even get notified?
Requesting that the Mayor and Administration, State of Florida, American Traffic Solutions, Inc., City Council refund all red light camera revenue collected for ordinance violations issued at intersections with a faulty light timing and old outdated traffic equipment. The referral by Mr. Newton. Mr. Newton, would you like to set it up?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. What I have here is, it has come to my attention that we have numerous, up in the thousands of law-abiding citizens receiving red light camera violations, ordinance violations, beyond any of their control. What I mean by that is we have malfunctioning equipment that's been dated and for the record. We have instances where people are getting tickets where we shouldn't have been issued a ticket and have paid them. And some of the stuff we've known about for a long time, but I think I even asked staff at one meeting, have any rebates have been done, and the answer was no. I think that knowing that this is going on within this program, we should entertain as a council to make sure that people are law-abiding citizens who are receiving and have paid citations be refunded their money. And I'm making that request from staff, the state, and also American Traffic Solutions this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Kubecki.
Yes, good morning. Joe Kubicki, Director of Transportation and Parking Management Services for the City of St. Petersburg. And we appreciate the referral from Councilman Newton. He did provide us with that in advance to give us an opportunity to investigate an allegation of equipment malfunction. It's important to note that the attachments to that, the referral, were distributed to council last year and were discussed by council last year related to a perception that maybe there was a problem with the equipment. We take that very seriously, and that if our equipment is malfunctioning, we need to know about it. They have nothing to do with red light cameras, but we cannot have our equipment not operating properly. So the allegation was that it was short cycling, and the yellow time at some intersections were not being experienced in the field like they were programmed in the computer for the controller. We program into each traffic controller the amount of red time, yellow time, and green time that controller can provide out in the field. And with that, we then can compute the capacity and a number of other things associated with that intersection. If they were short cycling or not following that, we would need to know it, and so we took this letter very seriously. We went out and took a look at every one of the signals that were discussed as possibly short cycling. We found there was no error, no problem, no malfunction in those traffic signals. All of those traffic signals were operating exactly per the timing that was given to that traffic controller, and the timing in that traffic controller was the exact time that we had given in the report that we had provided to council. So the first thing is that there has been no malfunction. There's no problem with the traffic controllers out in the field. There's no short cycling of the yellow time, and everybody was given adequate time to stop at those traffic signals. They all met or exceeded the time provided by the Institute of Transportation Engineers for determining a yellow time. But I want to make sure, for the record, that everybody knows that no NOVs were issued due to a faulty timing plan or old or outdated equipment or anything to that effect. None were issued in violation or should not have been issued. And also, you all know that a police officer, before any notice of violation is sent out, views the tape of the violation, and they are the ones that issue the notice of violation. So just wanted to fill that in for you, let you know that we did do the investigation. We and DOT and the controller equipment people and everybody else that we brought in on this issue are all comfortable and agree that the controllers are operating absolutely fine, and there's no problem with that. We will get into more detail on discussion of this on January 16th at the PSNI meeting. Just for the record, for everybody to understand, there was no evidence that we came up with, and we worked with DOT and others, that there was any short cycle. Anybody was issued a notice of violation due to error of equipment or in error in any way. So I just want to make it clear that I know there's a lot of discussion that that's the case, but that's not the case. And so there have not been any errors made to our knowledge, and we've thoroughly evaluated with the powers that be. Thank you.
I